Hello and welcome to The World Today. I am Adeshewa Josh. Coming up on today's program, Orthodox Christians all over the world celebrate Ash Wednesday. To U.S. politics, Donald Trump and Bernie Sanders emerge victorious at the New Hampshire primary. And the people of Haiti brush aside their political woes to celebrate Carnival. Welcome to the program. Orthodox Christians all over the world, particularly Roman Catholics, Anglicans, Lutherans, Methodists, and Presbyterians, are celebrating Ash Wednesday, a day of fasting which is the first day of Lent in Western Christianity. It occurs 46 days before Easter and can fall as early as February the 4th or as late as March the 10th. According to the canonical Gospels of Matthew, Mark, and Luke, Jesus Christ spent 40 days fasting in the desert, where he endured temptation by Satan. At the Our Lady of Perpetual Help Catholic Church here in Isheri, Lagos, Nigeria, this morning, ashes were placed on the foreheads of the parishioners. Meanwhile, Catholics in the Philippines mark the beginning of the penitential season of Lent by observing Ash Wednesday also. Ash Wednesday is the day Catholics are reminded of mortality and hear the phrase, "From dust you came, and to dust you shall return," as ashes are smudged onto their foreheads. Thousands of worshippers attended a mass at Baclaran Church in downtown Manila and queued to have their foreheads marked with ash in the sign of the cross, symbolizing penance and the following of Jesus Christ.
Parang fulfilled ka.
Let's talk more about the significance of Ash Wednesday to Christians around the world. I'm now being joined by Reverend Father Anthony Ojagbo. He's a Catholic Archdiocese of Owerri. Thank you so much for speaking to us on The World Today. Let me quickly ask you what the significance of placing the ash and the sign of cross on people, Christians, today in commemoration of the day.
Okay, the ash is placed on our heads. Reminds us of our mortality, which will help us to be conscious of all we do. Since one day our body shall return to the dust, from which it is taken, and our soul shall return to God also. So the ashes remind us that we are dust, and to dust we shall return. At the signing of the ash, the priest says to the penitent or to the Christian being signed the ash with the ash, "Remember, man, you are dust, and to dust we shall return."
We also know that Ash Wednesday is the first day of Lent. Talk to us more about that.
Yeah. Lent is a journey of 40 days to subdue the body and purify our souls. This 40 days journey prepares us for the worthy celebration of Easter. The church adopted 40 days following the scriptures. If we remember in the Old Testament, in the book of Exodus, chapter 34, verse 28, Moses went to Mount Sinai and waited for 40 days and 40 nights, where God gave him the Ten Commandments. And Elijah in the book of Kings, chapter 19, verse 8, walked for 40 days to Mount Horeb when he went to meet with the Lord. And then in Matthew chapter 4, verse 2, Jesus fasted for 40 days and 40 nights in the wilderness, in the desert, before he began his public ministry.
Father Ojabo,
So
you know,
Lent is a
there are
40-day
some
journey.
people, who say it is not compulsory to observe Lent, as there's nowhere in the Bible where Christians were mandated to observe this. What do you have to say about that?
Well, whatever the church does is scripturally based. Lent has the 40 days as a spiritual undertone, giving the spiritual aspect of what had happened in the Bible, like I gave you the instance of Moses, gave you the instance of Elijah, and our Lord Jesus Christ also. The 40 days period of Lent is a period of purification. It involves three things: fasting, prayer, and giving. The tripod stand of Lent.
Right. And your final word to everyone who is observing today?
My final words to everybody who is observing Lent today, first of all, is to remember that with the signing of the ash, we are being reminded that we are dust, and to dust we shall return.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Father Anthony Ojabo, the Catholic Archdiocese of Owerri, for speaking to us on The World Today. Reactions have continued to trail North Korea's rocket launch, and this time South Korea says it will suspend operations at a jointly run industrial park in the north. Seoul says all operations at the complex will cease to stop the north from using its investment to fund its nuclear and missile development. Kaesong is one of the last points of cooperation between the two Koreas and a key source of revenue for Pyongyang. This comes as Japan imposed new sanctions against the north following the launch, and they include a ban on North Korean vessels coming into port in Japan and on vessels from other countries that have visited the state. In the meantime, the White House says allies of the United States agree that an impactful response is needed following a rocket launch in North Korea over the weekend. The Pentagon has also confirmed that it will start formal talks with South Korea on deploying an advanced missile defense system to South Korea to counter the growing threat of North Korea's weapons capabilities.
There certainly is an agreement about the fact that about an impactful response being necessary. That means considering a range of economic sanctions that would further isolate North Korea, and it would also mean a clear signal, or I guess an additional clear signal to the North Koreans, that the resolve of the international community here is firm. We certainly will work with them as they make decisions about how to use that influence. I think the robust response you've seen, not just from the United States, but around the world, indicates just how isolated North Korea is. It's also a pretty clear indication that the rest of the international community agrees with the United States that this kind of action is provocative, it's destabilizing, and it's entirely inconsistent with a number of United Nations Security Council resolutions of the steps that we can take to limit their ability to spread.
Still to come on The World Today, U.S. presidential hopefuls Donald Trump and Bernie Sanders emerge victorious at the New Hampshire primary. We have details for you in just a moment, so stay with us.